Hey guys, what's up? So I know I haven't made a video in a while, and I apologize for that. But after the Chiefs game, I actually got really busy during the week, and I didn't have any time to make a video. Jets game, I was just too angry. I didn't want to talk. I was in a bad mood all week. And then I was going to do one for the Rams. But then I figured, you know what? I'm going to wait because we have the Cardinals in 3 days, and I want to see how that game goes. So obviously we are 3-4 now on the season. We beat the Cardinals last night 45-10, but this is coming after 4 straight losses. And my opinion on where we are so far this season, I would say it's been a disappointment because we should be improving by now. This should not be the case. A repeat of last year, a hot start, and then we kind of fall off. It shouldn't be that. That shouldn't be the case, but sadly enough, it is. So I'm just going to give you my overall opinion on the 3 aspects of the team, which is our coaching, our players, and how the rest of the season is going to go. First, it's off with the coaching staff, and I'm with everybody else. Fire Vance Joseph. Guys, I was very shaky about letting him come back this year. I'm a little too forgiving, I guess. I'm too forgiving a person, and I've said, you know what? Let's let him come back. Let's see what he can do. And guys, it's the same thing. He's obviously not learned anything, and I never got why we hired him in the first place. If you look at his resume, he never really had any qualifications to be a head coach. He was known as a quote-unquote leader of men, but these past 4 weeks didn't show it. Like the Jets game, they just didn't try. They just kind of, after the Jets got up on us, we just kind of quit. The team just kind of was like, we're just going to let it happen. And I'm like, that's not a leader of men. The coaching staff that actually motivates their players wouldn't let that happen. They would have gotten their team to play harder. They'd have gotten them to play better. They'd have gotten them to keep trying. And because it looked like the team just quit, honestly. So there's that. And honestly, I think John Elway knows this. Joe Ellis knows this. And I think the Broncos themselves know it. Vaughn, Keenum, they all know it. And it's about time that Vance is fired. I would also throw Joe Woods in there as too. Our defense hasn't been stellar, hasn't certainly been what it used to be. And it's odd because our defense has had hot and cold games. We've had games like the Chiefs and the Rams and the Cardinals where we're able to keep the offense in check. We don't play perfect football, keep in mind, like 2015, but we play good enough. We keep them in check and we keep the game close. I just said our defense at this point is not going to win us any games. Our defense just needs to keep us in the game because our offense can score. We can score with this offense. I just said we just need to stay in this game. Defense just needs to keep us in the game. They don't need to win us games. Because at this point, we can't expect that of our defense anymore. I mean, Vaughn and Chris can't do this by themselves at this point, guys. They need to just say, all right, defense, just keep us in the game. Just keep the score close enough so we can score and move the ball down the field. And thankfully they've done that in a few games this year. But then there's games like the Jets where it's like, man, what happened, guys? It just you're letting stuff go. Like the Jets game was our worst game defensively. The defense just wasn't trying. Bradley Roby has certainly not been what he should be. Getting burned deep a lot. A lot of over-the-shoulder throws. He's having trouble covering those. Pass rush hasn't been too big of an issue. Chubb and Miller, they're getting back there. They're getting to the quarterback. Wolf and Pecco, they're doing... It hasn't been good against the run, and it proved last week. Todd Gurley absolutely ran us over. Now, I'm not going to get too worried about that because no one's been able to stop Todd Gurley this year. The Rams are 6-0 for a reason. No one's been able to stop Todd Gurley, and... of course, I didn't expect us to win the Rams game. I thought that we were going to lose that game by quite a bit. I was surprised it was as close as it did, and I like the fact that the offense played better and they came back, but I'm like, yeah, but you got to play good for 4 quarters. We have not been a fourth quarter team. We will play good for a half and then we fall asleep in the second half, or we're asleep in the first half and then we revive ourselves in the second half. Or maybe we play good for 2 or 3 quarters and then we fall asleep in the fourth and it comes back to bite us. Or you have like the Rams game where we're asleep for 3, then we wake up in the fourth and we make a run at it. That is not good football. You cannot play football if you're not playing a fourth quarter game. If you're not playing a fourth quarter game, you're not going to win. And Vance Joseph and Joe Woods need to be held accountable for that. And maybe I would even consider Bill Musgrave at this point. Yes, our offense has definitely been better, but I don't know, guys. This coaching staff is not going to be here for much longer. And honestly, that's a good thing. We need to get out of here and get ourselves a real coach. That's my opinion. Moving on to the players. First, let's start off with quarterback Case Keenum. I really don't know what to think of him, honestly. There have been games where he's played smart and he makes good throws and he gets the ball down the field, but he's also thrown a pick in every single game, and he's the only QB to do that, to have thrown a pick in every game. I think he has 8 touchdowns to 9 picks right now, and honestly, it's like, dude, you got to cut that out. I mean, last night he played a good game. He played all right. He did fine against the Rams. He played terrible against the Jets. He did fine against Kansas City. Of course, he missed Demaryius Thomas on a wide open float up pass that even average QBs should be able to make that throw. I don't know, guys, honestly, what to think of Case Keenum. He's not terrible, keep in mind. I've seen a lot of Bronco fans saying he's awful. He's not. I've seen awful, okay? We've been through Paxton and Simeon and Osweiler and Cutler. We've seen, and Kyle Orton, we've seen terrible quarterbacking. Guys, Keenum isn't bad, okay? He's alright to me. He's fine. Is he our option? At this point, it is. I said last night, if he throws 2 to 3 picks against the Cardinals, then bench him and put in Chad Kelly. Because, honestly, he can't get much worse. I think Keenum did enough to keep the job. And I did get a little bit of confidence back in Keenum, like that deep throw he had to Sanders. I'm like, okay, you gave a bit of confidence back, Keenum. I'm going to let you say, all right, I'll give you another week. But by this week, at this point, it's going to be a week-by-week basis here. If we're going to keep him as the starter or we're going to eventually have to bench him for Chad Kelly. It's going to be a week-by-week basis because he's got to cut out the picks. We cannot throw a pick in every single game because that's going to kill us. And it already has. It has already burned us big time. We got to stop throwing 2 touchdowns and 1 pick or a touchdown and a pick. I want 3 or 4 touchdowns, Keenum. That's what we brought you here to do. You said we could put up 40 points. Well, yeah, last night you did that for the first time. Granted, the Cardinals are terrible, but still, I need 45 points every week, Case. Our defense can hold an offense. They've proven it. They can hold an offense back. And even a team like the Rams and the Chiefs, they did a pretty good job condensing the Chiefs and the Rams, who were known for just running up the score. The defense kept it close enough for us to make a run at it. So, Case, put up 40 points every week, dude. Not just a team like the Cardinals. Do it against teams like Kansas City, teams like Oakland, teams like the Chargers. I need that every week, dude. So there's that. Defensively, I think we're fine. I think we're doing all right there. Vaughn, y'all know what he said last night. Y'all know what Vaughn said. And yeah, he lived up to it. And because they did that. They went out and they annihilated the Cardinals 45-10. 5 turnovers forced over 2. Well, actually, no, just 1 strip sack, I think, from Vaughn. We got 1 from Chubb. We got 2 picks for, actually, no, I think 1 pick from Chris Harris, 1 pick from Todd Davis, and then a pick from Bradley Roby. Granted, we're playing Josh Rosen, who's a rookie, and he hasn't exactly worked all the kinks out yet. But, yeah, they did a good job. Our rookie running backs, guys, I love our rookies. Cortland Sutton, I love how he just goes up there and he snatches the ball when he can. I love the thing they did with Sanders. They did a little trickery and Sanders just throws it out. I love Freeman and Lindsey. They provide a good 2-punch thing. Freeman can bust it up the gut and he breaks out of tackles for a 7 or 8 yard gain. Then we can just toss it to Lindsey and he'll take it 12 to 13 yards. I love that, and I think we should be running more. Bill Musgrave is a little too aggressive when it comes to throwing the ball. He is so anxious to throw. When we should really be focusing, okay, we got 2 very good rookie running backs. Let's utilize them. Let's pound it with Freeman for 5 to 6 yards, and then if you want a big run, just toss it to Lindsey and let him go on a jet. The dude breaks out when he needs to, and I love what we've done. As for Sanders, he's having a great year. Sanders is catching everything he can, and he's getting in the end zone. Demaryius Thomas has had a nice few bounce back weeks where, he was criticized, for dropping everything, and I said, Demaryius, you're probably going to need to be gone after this year. He's done a nice job. He's making catches, he's getting the ball, and he's catching the ball, and he's had a nice bounce back. Now, if he can keep it up, and if he can just keep that consistency throughout the year, then, all right, you might earn yourself a year extension at most. Offensive line, hot and cold. Sometimes they're great, and sometimes they're awful. Most of the time, they're awful. So many holding calls, and a lot of it's on Garrett Bowles. Dude, I get that you're only in your second year and you're still adjusting, but you got to cut out the holding calls, dude. This is terrible. I get that you don't want Keenum to get killed, but we cannot have a holding call every time you get a big play out. It kills us, and I hate it. Bowles, you got to cut it out, and we got to make some big adjustments to the line. We lost Ronald Leary for the year, and that's a big hit because he was a pretty good guard. So losing Ronald Leary hurts. I feel like Max Garcia might be gone soon. The only guy who hasn't gotten his butt blown up has been Paradis, and that guy's been a solid part of the line for years. He's the best center in football. So personnel-wise, I think last night certainly helped getting our confidence back. Beating the Cardinals 45-10, and this leads me into how the rest of the season's going to go. I certainly think we got our confidence back. I mean, I've read a lot of articles where they said it felt good just to win again. It felt good to not just win, just to pound teams again, to win by 5 touchdowns. I can't remember the last time we won by 5 touchdowns. I honestly can't remember the last time that happened, when we just absolutely went in and annihilated a team. I can't remember the last time Denver did that. So hopefully we can keep this up. I think this gets our confidence back. I know people say, great, you beat the Cardinals, they suck. To me, this is a confidence game. Just beat a team up, get your confidence back, because hopefully we can carry this momentum next week, because we have a tough matchup. And it's key. Kansas City and Arrowhead. It's week 8. It's going to be Kansas City and Arrowhead. As you guys know, they barely nudged us out on Monday Night Football in our home. Hopefully we can nudge them out at their home, and our defense can just keep them contained, and our offense can get the ball down the field. Because if we can beat the Chiefs, then we have a shot to get ourselves back in the playoff race. A shot to get ourselves back in that race. Of course, we're going to have to beat the Chargers, and we're going to have to finish off Oakland. Guys, we got a big part of the schedule coming up. I know, I'm sorry I haven't made videos as of late, but I've been really busy, and I think this is better. I just want to sum up how we've been the past few weeks. It's been a ride, guys. 3-4, I can't say we're awful. I can't say we're good, but I don't know. I think I'll be able to officially make a judgment on this team by next week. If we can pull out a good performance against Kansas City and Arrowhead, then I'll say, you know what? We have a shot to get ourselves back in the playoff race, but I still agree on 3 things. Vance Joseph needs to be fired, Joe Woods needs to be fired, and we definitely need to make overhauls on the offensive line. We need to get that done if we're going to have any chance to break through next year and the year after that for the future. Anyway, guys, that's my opinion. Please let me know your opinion down in the comments below, and I will make a recap for the Chiefs game next week. Broncos country, adios.